So why is Hitchcock an auteur? Well, it's because he uses a number of familiar elements in a number of his films. Music, for instance, he used the same composer in a number of his films, and although the composer wrote a specific score for the film, oftentimes those scores had a familiar theme or feeling about them, which then can be attributed to a Hitchcock film. Hitchcock would use similar character tropes like the innocent man wrongfully accused. That's something we all can relate to. None of us want to be accused of something that we did not do. But Hitchcock takes it another step further by casting the same actors in that particular role. Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant played that role very well. And you got to remember that Jimmy Stewart was like Tom Hanks and Cary Grant was like George Clooney. These are people that were very famous, but they had something about them that was either very familiar to them or something that people wanted to be like. And so that strengthens the bond between the audience and the action on the screen. The Ice Princess was another character trope that is attributable to Hitchcock. The blonde-head, porcelain-skinned, very fashionable and well put together woman that had some sort of inner turmoil or inner angst. That was something that we see in a lot of Hitchcock films, and oftentimes people attribute that to Hitchcock's mother. That was something that Hitchcock, experienced as a child growing up. That his mother was like that. Finally, camera usage as a psychological device is something that is very Hitchcock-esque. Hitchcock limits the point of view of what's being portrayed on screen. Oftentimes we, the audience, experience exactly what the characters are experiencing. So like in Rear Window, when L.B. Jeffries lifts up his camera lens, what we see is exactly what he sees. We see like an iris shot of what he's looking at, his neighbor. Camera movement is another element that is very Hitchcockian. Whenever the camera moves, oftentimes that is a moment of discovery by the character or an emotional response by that character. And what happens as we watch a film and as we start participating in the film, because we are so well connected to the audience, or so well connected to the characters on screen, when that camera moves, not only does the character have an emotional response, but we do as well. Not only does the character have a moment of discovery, but we do as well. And, filmmakers pick up on that and they say, man, Hitchcock really latched onto something, he really discovered something here, and we want to use it in our films. And that's why, you can start seeing examples of that in like Spielberg films, David Fincher films. Both of those two filmmakers use a lot of the same techniques that Hitchcock used, and I encourage you to take a look at those filmmakers. But those filmmakers can be considered auteurs as well, because they use cinematic techniques that are almost exclusive to themselves. So these are some of the reasons why I feel Hitchcock is an auteur.